So the measuring, monitoring of impact investing has been at the forefront of what we've been trying to unlock in PIC, in the finance community, and certainly with now the GSG Impact Investing National Advisory Board. Because until we have clarity and transparency, it's very difficult to scale up the instruments. And so I live and breathe two things in impact investing. One is finding a listed outcome, because it's predominantly in the unlisted space. And two is ensuring that there's a sensible measurement framework we land on. And so the three key challenges that I see presently is that we're overcomplicating it. We're using an unlisted lens, which is very disparate, and at the early days of being well coordinated and standardized, and we are doing it primarily from a CSI, ESG perspective. So that in and of itself is not wrong, but I've linked it to the other sort of strategic objective for us, which is being able to get it into the listed environment. Because the ultimate objective of impact investing, of the UN goals, of how we want to transform society and the economies, is being able to have, with the easiest possible route to market, in a way, ability to list these instruments and for large-scale mainstream funding to flow towards it. And so when we think about the measurement framework, we think of it in that context. So we think that a lot of those principles exist and is present in a listed context. We've got the JSE that aligns with the global exchanges context. You've got the global accounting standards that sets out a framework. And I think that there's a movement, and I think that we're getting there. I think the opportunity now is ripe to streamline the complexity of what we currently have in the impact measurement space into a framework that the listed environment knows and understands. And instead of starting from a blank page and redoing a blueprint, is taking the essence of what's important and linking it back. And I think the key way we do it is to start having a sector focused. And we've already seen that. So the Global Impact Investment Network has started together with the Impact Management Project, and you can Google these, they're available online, to give you some color, have started delineating sector-level specific targets. The other initiative is IRIS, which starts to hone in what those are from real examples. So taking a listed context, taking an unlisted context in the energy space, what are the common impact points? So when you talk about energy, and I'm going to raise funding, if I'm someone looking for funding for a project, if I'm going to 10 different investors and they're talking energy, we know broadly these are the 5 we're going for. If we're talking about the water space, we can delineate maybe subsectors, water infrastructure, water service provision, etc. But once we've done that, we must know sort of what are the key 5 ones, and then we can have sub-measurement categories. And I think we're getting there. But it is a very difficult journey. The biggest challenge I find is that the listed language and the unlisted language hasn't converged yet. But we're getting there, and I think that there's a lot of work, and every year I'm very encouraged. The IFC, International Finance Corporation, just yesterday or 2 days ago, launched their principles on impact investing, the 9 principles framework. I think that's a huge start for people to start applying their minds. In it, they very clearly and plainly say they're not articulating what the measurement areas are. But what was very important for me there is that now, as someone trying to raise funding into the space, you know that you're probably talking to someone that's looking for the same 9 things, whereas before we didn't even have that as a starting point. So we're getting there. And the next round for IFC will be to get into the detail, and they're getting involved in. And I think the more we have the global conversations, the local conversations, we're gelling the listed with the unlisted conversations to standardize those metrics, we'll get there.